How selecting the wrong broker could really hurt your business. Hi everybody, Larry Frully. Hey listen, I'm a real estate broker in 3 states, Texas, South Carolina, and North Carolina. 22 years in the business, and I'm here today to help share the 5 ways for selecting the wrong broker could really hurt your business. So most of you, whether you're just thinking about getting a real estate license, whether you've been licensed for a lot of time, you know, you're going to come out of real estate school and you've got to select a broker, somebody who is actually going to sponsor your license for whatever period of time you're going to be there. Until, once again, every state is a little bit different. How many years you got to be in then to become your own broker? Right? So today though is the 5 ways, you know. You've gone through real estate school and everybody remembers, gosh, you've got every broker in the world that's visiting you at either at the school or just as soon as you apply for taking your state exam. You know, the phones start ringing and the recruiters start calling and everybody's telling you they are the greatest thing in the whole wide world as far as real estate brokers. The great part is, and by the way, this video is broker agnostic, right? Because here's what I believe. I believe there is a broker out there for you that not necessarily has to be the biggest, but it's something that you are certainly looking for. So way number 1, ask yourself, what are you looking for in real estate, right? I mean, agents get into real estate sometimes. Hey, listen, I just want to sell a couple homes a year, right? I want to specialize in something, like I want to specialize in commercial real estate or residential, or I'm a leasing agent, or it's property management, or maybe it's short sales and foreclosures. Gosh, there's so many different avenues for that. But what is it that you are looking for, and then how does that associate with that broker, right? Not all brokers, by the way, are gonna specialize in things that have, at least some knowledge around commercial. Or really, realistically, even around things like foreclosure. Are you looking to be fed leads, right? We get into the real estate business. By the way, you all have a database already because you've got a cell phone, right? My cell phone's used for recording right now, but you've got a cell phone, and that's where your database is first going to start. But are you looking for leads from your broker? And you want to ask those questions. Hey, listen, where do you get leads from, right? That's always the thing. So, the other thing is going to be training. Like, I got my real estate license. Now what do I do? I have no idea what to do, right? I can remember getting in there. I had a small independent broker when I was up in Cleveland, Ohio. And he was a great guy. He really was a great guy and a great trainer. And he gave me little tips and training along the way. Before then I moved over to really 3 bigger companies, over a period of time until I became my own broker. But he was a lot of fun. His name was Bill. Bill was a lot of fun. And I'll never forget, I sold my first home and I was so proud. By the way, it was a mobile home. It was my grandmother's mobile home. And but I was so proud that I sold, I sold something and I got the hook for the business. And I'll never forget what he said to me. His words of advice were, all right, don't rest on your laurels, get back out there, right? That was kind of my, get going, that was it. So, there's a lot of training that goes on in any of the MLS boards all across the country. But what is it specifically that your broker is going to be training on? I embrace the Jeff Glover Sales Rocket program for our agents. Sales Rocket is a great out-of-the-box, doesn't matter if you're brand new, doesn't matter if you've had some experience, it is a great program to go through. But what is it that your broker has? What training do they do, right? Do they hold office meetings or not? Is that important for you or not? I'll never forget, I've said, until COVID happened, it would have been hard to run kind of a remote real estate office. And yet, it certainly proved me wrong, because gosh, we're all living kind of in a virtual world still. And Now, I do think this, I think the evolution of it will come back, right? Number 2, support, right? Support is a very, very big thing especially when you're brand new in the business. Like, I don't know what contract form I need for this, or, how do I address this with the buyer or with the seller? What does that look like? What does a closing look like? Do I have to be there? What happens during inspection, right? It's all of that support that you're going to be looking for from your broker that you select. So that's number 2. Number 3 is culture. If any of you watched my videos before, you'll know that culture for me is kind of way, way up there, kind of like number 1. I've left offices before because of the lack of culture. It's just not, it just didn't align with me. So make sure that you're having conversations when you are interviewing the broker and they are interviewing you. Make sure you're asking about culture. What do you guys do for culture? Do you guys do things in the community? Do you give back? What does that look like? You've heard me say before in a past video, gosh, I've had agents where, they were just not lined up with the culture of the company, and I asked them to leave. Because I think that's one thing that you just can't short, is a culture in a brokerage. Number 4 is community. And I talked a little bit about, community already with, kind of living in the virtual world. And yet, real estate agents we are all very, very social creatures, right? We've got to get out, we've got to do things. So part of that community is going to be right along with your learning and your training, especially if you're training in an office. Secondly is, at least monthly business meetings. Like, here's what's going on in the industry. What do you have? What buyer need do you have? What seller need do you have, right? Going out in the community and doing things together, right? Fundraisers or races, right? There's a lot of things that you can do as a brokerage, that take care of that number 4, which is that community. And number 5 is the last one is, opportunities. I'll never forget, I was up in Cleveland, Ohio, and I was with a Keller Williams office up there. And I was looking for opportunities that were outside of just selling real estate. Now, don't get me wrong, I love selling real estate. But I was looking for that one more thing. So the company had a program where they were actually looking for leadership. And then for the next 10 years, I was on a leadership travel kind of around the country, around a lot of places, and really got to experience a lot of things. But does your broker offer, opportunities? That opportunities could be things like, sharing in the revenue, in the profit of the company. In the end of a real estate agent's career, what do we have left, right? We have our signs, we have our lock boxes. Is there a retirement program in place? Is there some sort of a sharing? Are we like all buying real estate together, like in our own little REIT, right? So check with your broker around things like what's after that for retirement. Listen, I am Larry Frawley here. I have enjoyed today. Keep looking for more and more of my videos. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you very soon. Thanks much.